If you're a non-US founder with an LLC living outside of the US and you're selling to American customers, Amazon, Stripe, SaaS, services, whatever, there's a very good chance you owe the IRS zero. Nothing. Not a reduced rate, not tax optimized, $0 of US federal income tax. And here's the crazy part. Your accountant probably told you the opposite. You're selling in the US, so you have to pay US tax. That one sentence has cost European founders millions in tax they never legally owed. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the one test that decides everything. It's called ETBUS, and by the end of this video, you'll understand US international tax better than most CPAs who don't work in this field. That's not a flex on them, it's just a weirdly counterintuitive corner of the tax code, and almost nobody looks at it. Quick disclaimer so we're clean. I've said this more than 50 times for founders, but I'm not your tax attorney. This is the framework, the fact that can change the answer. Watch this, then make your CPA answer the right question. Let's go. First, who am I talking to? The IRS calls you a non-resident alien. Sounds like sci-fi, but it means you're not a US citizen, you're not a green card holder, and you don't spend enough days physically in the US to trip their substantial presence test. So if you're running your business from Berlin, Lisbon, Bucharest, Tallinn, laptops open, US customers on the other end, this video is for you. If you have a US visa, a green card, or you basically live in the US, stop this video. You're in a completely different bucket, the worldwide income. So you need a CPA, not YouTube. Here's the #1 source of confusion and where all the bad advice comes from. People think US taxes for foreigner is one system. It's a two systems, a two completely set of rules, rates, and triggers. System 1, passive income, dividends, interest, royalties, rent, money that flows to you without you actively working. This gets taxed at a flat 30% at source, sometimes knocked down to 15 or 0% if your country has a tax treaty. It's mechanical. A US platform pays you royalty, they withhold it, done. Boring. System 2, active income. This is your actual business, selling products, services, software, the thing you run every day. And here's the sentence that changes everything. Active business income is only taxable in the US if you are engaged in a trade or business within the United States, ETBUS. Cross that threshold, you're taxed like a US business. Didn't cross it, your business income is simply not subject to US federal income tax, even if every single customer is American. Even if every dollar comes from the US. Everything, and I mean everything, comes down to this one test. So let's break it open. For a founder running things from abroad, you're ETBUS only if two things are true at the same time. 1, you have a dependent agent operating in the US. That's a person who works for you and under your control, like an employee, a contractor, basically working exclusively for you, physically on American soil. 2, that activity is considerable, continuous, and regular. Not a one-off, not trivial, a real ongoing part on how your business runs. The dependent agent is the load-bearing wall here. No dependent agent on US soil, you're almost certainly not ETBUS. And if you're not ETBUS, your active business income is outside the US tax entirely. That's the whole game. So the obvious next question, the one your entire tax outcome hangs on, is who counts as a dependent agent and who doesn't? The test is beautifully simple once you see it. Does this person or company run their own business, of which you are merely a customer? If yes, they're independent and their US presence is theirs, not yours. Let's make it real. Amazon FBA, independent. Amazon runs its own gigantic logistic business. You're one of the millions of clients. Amazon doesn't become your US operation any more than DHL becomes your operation because it delivers your boxes. Stripe, PayPal, independent. Payment processors with millions of merchants. A US web host or cloud provider, independent. You're renting servers. A 3PL warehouse you pay at arm's length, independent. Now flip it. A US employee on your payroll, dependent agent. A contractor working substantially and exclusively for you, dependent agent. A US-based salesperson closing deals in your name, taking your direction day to day, dependent agent. So here's the practical takeaway, and it's huge. A non-resident selling into the US exclusively through independent providers like Amazon, Stripe, a SaaS host, etc., a fulfillment partner generally has no dependent agent, is not ETBUS, and owes no US federal income tax on that business income. Hire one dedicated person on the grounds in the US, the whole analysis changes. Picture this: you run an e-commerce brand from Lisbon. Products are made in Asia, shipped to Amazon, US warehouse, Amazon stores, picks, packs, ships your order. You do marketing and ops from your laptop in Portugal, money flows through Amazon and Stripe. Where's your dependent agent in the US? There isn't one. No ETBUS, no federal income tax on those profits. Now, same business, same products, same customers, you hire a full-time US warehouse manager who works only for you and takes your direction. Congratulations, you just planted a dependent agent on American soil. Now you're likely ETBUS and those profits become US taxable. One hire, completely different tax answer. That's how sharp this line is. Let's kill the 5 myths you've definitely heard, probably from an accountant. Myth number 1, you have a US LLC, so you owe US tax. False. An LLC is a legal wrapper, not a tax trigger. A single member LLC is disregarded. The IRS looks straight through it, ETBUS decides everything. Myth number 2, you get paid in dollar, you bank in the US, so it's taxable. False. Currency and bank location are completely irrelevant. Plenty of founders bank in the US, invoice in USD, and owe zero. Myth number 3, your servers are in the US, so you're operating in the US. False. Renting servers from a US host is buying a service from an independent provider, not ETBUS. Myth number 4, it's a US source income, so the US taxes it. False again. US source active income is only taxed if you're ETBUS. Source alone creates nothing. Liability protection. The LL part in LLC stands for limited liability. Your personal assets sit behind the wall. Credibility. Company LLC Delaware reads very differently to American buyers. Cleaner payments. Stripe and merchant accounts integrate better behind the US entity. Amazon brand registry and programs that want a registered business. And the big one, the US credit ladder. LLC plus EIN plus ITIN is the on-ramp to US business credit. That's the reason many founders I work with set up this in the first place. Privacy. In states like Wyoming or New Mexico, your identity is not disclosed on the public records. You get all of that without inheriting a huge tax bill, as long as your operations run through independent agents. Now the part where most founders who get everything right still blows themselves up. Owing zero tax and filing nothing are not the same thing. If you own a foreign-owned single-member LLC, you must file Form 5472 attached to a pro forma 1120 every single year, even without zero revenue, even with no tax bill. Skip it and the penalty is $25,000 for not filing a form on a company that does not owe any tax. Multi-member LLC, that's a partnership. Form 1065 and K1s, and if you ever do have a US taxable income, that's 1040 on air, and you need an ITIN for it. Treat the filings as non-negotiable hygiene. They're cheap to do, ruinous to miss, and they're what keeps your I owe nothing position clean and defensible. Quick honesty check. This does not apply to you if you have a US employee or a dedicated US contractor. Dependent agent, you're likely ETBUS. You spend serious time physically in the US. Day counts can make you a tax resident on worldwide income. You have a US office, store, or find a place of business. That's its own trigger. Your income is genuinely passive, dividends, US property, royalty. Or you're not willing to file every year because the $25,000 penalty turns this whole structure into a liability. If any of those hit, different answers. Get real advice. So let's recap in one breath. Passive income gets withheld at 30% or the 3T tax rate. Active business income is only taxed if you're ETBUS. ETBUS requires a dependent agent on US soil. Amazon, Stripe, and your hosting provider are not your dependent agents. And no matter what, file your 5472 every year. If you're a non-resident founder and you want the US bank accounts, the entity, the ITIN, the credit ladder set up properly without the tax myths, check the link in the description. I've done this many times and I can tell you about it in 2 minutes if you're a good fit. If this video just saved you from the tax bill you never owed, you know what to do. Subscribe and see you in the next one.